stressed and anxious and work, and you're just having more cocktails than you should be because that's the only way you can check out and cope with it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, those are the coping skills that our
Ugly
children
Truth of Divorce podcast with Sam and Leah, helping you not just survive, but thrive.
Good morning, you guys, and welcome back to the Ugly Truth of Divorce podcast. We are your hosts, Sam and Leah.
Yes, we are back. It's been like weeks. I feel like I haven't seen you in so long. We're totally off of our game too. We're just like kind of like strolling in here like, okay, it's podcast time. But as always, if you're tuning in, our podcast is brought to you by The Next Chapter, which is our premium monthly membership, where you can get weekly workshops and live monthly Zoom Q&A sessions for all things divorce, helping you heal and helping you co-parent with confidence.
Absolutely. So like she said, we've been kind of in a crazy month. This is July when we're recording this, and July is full of travel, and I've moved and still moving, and there's just been so many vacations and little trips here and there that it's really, as entrepreneurs, staying consistent with your job is one of the key elements to being successful.
Yeah.
And it's really hard when you're traveling and out of the country and in a different state. And I've been in condos for a month, and it's been hard, but we've nailed it. I think we've done a pretty good job.
Yeah, we've kept everything afloat. It's definitely hard when we're not on our normal schedule. Like I miss you. If it's so weird, like, cause I'm so used to you being a part of my, like, more of like my daily routine.
Yes.
And so I feel like it's been so long, but at least we're getting back to doing some stuff today. And then I'll be out of town again for like, in a couple of weeks for like a week. And then I think come August, we'll be back on track and you guys will start seeing us again, doing Sam and Leah every week. We're doing that show. We'll do the podcast again every week and we'll get back to rolling. But we wanted to bring you some stuff. In our private support groups, we kind of scan through there. At this point, they're large enough where they really run themselves. People post questions, they post success stories. But we always kind of look just to see what's going on, what people are asking, what people are struggling with. And I saw kind of like a trend going on recently this week where moms were just talking about feeling sorry for themselves, talking about the shame and embarrassment that comes with divorce, right? And this, I feel like, usually happens more so in those beginning stages. I think hopefully the longer you're divorced and the longer you're working on your healing journey, you start to kind of come out of this and shift your perspective. But for those of you who are maybe just starting out, or you're kind of in the beginning stages of, or even just maybe it's just finalized and then you're starting your new chapter, maybe you are just dealing with some of that shame and embarrassment. So we've got a whole list of things we're going to dive into just to help you shift your perspective so that you can feel more confident and empowered, especially as a mom. Because let's be real, divorce ain't going anywhere. I mean, there are so many people that are divorced. There are so many, as long as marriages are going to keep happening, divorce is going to keep happening. That's just the way things are. And so it's okay. You're in good company. Welcome to the club.
Yeah, exactly.
So, all right, first one, and this is always the most important, really, when you're dealing with anything, it's acknowledge your feelings about this. Okay. So like allow yourself to feel your emotions without judging yourself. That's what's so important. Recognize that shame and embarrassment are normal. Okay. But they're temporary. They're temporary feelings. Honestly, after my first divorce, I don't remember a lot of shame and embarrassment because I immediately launched into another relationship to distract myself. So I just wasn't even feeling, I just moved on quickly so that I could put all of that behind me as fast as possible. And I was not doing any of the things you're supposed to be doing, taking the time to heal, feeling the feelings. I did nothing. After my second divorce, however, that shame bus hit me like a Mack truck. I mean, it was like, I was so embarrassed to tell people that I was going through a divorce again. And just the look on some people's faces, even if it's unintentional, when you tell someone you're going through another divorce, it's like they look at you like, oh, like what's wrong with you? Why is this happening to you? Right. So I remember dealing with a lot of that. Did you have just any shame and embarrassment?
I think so. I mean, obviously I did. I was the first person in my family to get divorced. I'd only, I kind of like set myself up for the divorce since I married him only after 60 days. So it's kind of like, and I think the other half of that is like, I think people walk around with shame when they're in a relationship that they know is toxic. So you're talking about that look that I've given that judgmental look when I see, a woman in a relationship or a man that's toxic and they're behaving in a toxic way publicly. So I'm like, if you're doing this shit publicly, I can only imagine what privately you guys are like. And it's like, why would you stay married like that? So I sometimes
Right.
give that look to married people too that walk around with like, God, I want to drop this person so bad, but I feel like I can't. And
Yeah.
I feel bad for those people that stay stuck, that stay in the marriage, that stay too long, that stay for the wrong reasons, that don't put themselves first, and that
Yeah.
judging yourself is the most critical part of that is like, when I married my ex after 60 days, I thought it was gonna be forever. I didn't intentionally get married thinking it was gonna end in divorce, but man, I quickly knew. I quickly knew that it was probably gonna end either really bad with police or divorce. And so I kept judging though, what will people say? What will people think?
Mhm.
God, do I want to be that person? Do I want to be looked at that way? And it was a
Right.
lot of I put everybody else's judgment on me more so than my own happiness until I finally did it. And then once I did it, I still feel like people were judging me. But then I really looked
Mhm.
at them sometimes and I'm like, does your vote really matter to me? Because look at your
Yeah.
life, or you don't have all your ducks in a row either. So, like,
Right.
I think it just comes down to finding your own happiness, and that shame will always be there, especially with kids, in a divorce. But like eventually when you can get yourself happy and right again, all that shame for me, it's gone
Yeah.
away. Like it
Right.
is what it is, and it was a purpose for its own purpose. I had to do that. And taking that stance on like what did I get out of this? Whether it was learning something or finding out something about yourself and just moving on. But yeah, there was a lot of shame at the beginning. I was humiliated, I thought. I thought it because I
You were in a
humiliated
small
my parents.
town, which I think
Yeah,
makes it worse.
I humiliated my parents, I thought,
Right.
and then now talking to my parents as I'm older, she's like, We didn't care at all. We just wanted you out of that marriage. Like, fuck it. We just wanted you, away from him." So, yeah, I wish, but they didn't feel comfortable saying that to me. They thought
Yeah.
that would push me away, if they would have said that. And it probably would have because I was with a narcissist. So he would have
Right.
if I would have had that intel and went to him with that, he would have divided me even faster from my parents because that's what he was trying to do.
Right.
Isolate me,
I
you
think,
know?
that happens a lot. When I remember when I was in a really, really abusive relationship, super toxic, nobody knew that that was the type of relationship I was in because I knew if they had those details, then they would try to get me to
Yeah,
leave, and I just wasn't ready to do that. I
yeah.
just wasn't. I just couldn't wrap my head around that, so I kept all that shit to myself. So then, then when you come out and you tell somebody, "Oh, now I'm getting divorced," they're like, "What?" Like,
Why?
"What do you mean?
Why? Yeah.
Where's this
He's so
coming from?"
he's
Yeah,
so great.
right.
Really?
He's so charming.
Uh-huh.
All right, number 2, challenge negative beliefs. You guys, all day, every day, you have to identify and then challenge any negative beliefs you have about yourself
Yeah.
because of the divorce or the relationship or who you are as a mom, and then replace them with positive affirmations. I will never stop giving this advice. And I know that that might sound cliche and you're like affirmations. I hear that all the time, but this truly,
It is.
this is backed by science. Okay.
Yeah.
It will reprogram your subconscious. If you feel like shit about yourself, it is because of your inner dialogue. It's
Yeah.
because of the conversations you're having with yourself. So you have to first recognize that that's what's going on and pay attention to those voices in your head, and then intentionally shift them to something that's more positive and empowering. And the more that you do that, that will eventually become your default setting. And then you're not going to have those conversations where you're beating yourself up in your head anymore, or at least not as much.
I think for this one though, for me, it was his voice was louder than my voice. I didn't even have a voice in my own head to say affirmations. Like
Right,
his
right.
voice was running on fucking repeat and repeat and repeat and repeat all day long in my head. If I do
Yeah.
that, what's he gonna say? If I say that, what's gonna happen? If I tell the kids that, what will happen? I was so worried about him and his thoughts and the things that he had said about me. You're a shit mom, you're a drunk, you're this, you're that. That was running so loud in my head. I didn't have space for my own thoughts,
Mhm.
until I reprogrammed myself, until I retrained myself, until I started reading things, until I got into therapy, then it was easier. But at the beginning, there was no space. his
Yeah.
voice was so loud in my head because I was in such a
Yeah.
defensive mode of like, okay, he thinks I'm horrible, so I have to act not horrible and make sure I'm doing everything perfect. And
Yeah.
that was exhausting. So I couldn't
And
even
that
talk to
takes
myself.
time. That takes a
Mhm.
lot of time and consistency. You really have to be patient with yourself. None of these are gonna be like a flip of the switch overnight and you're
No.
gonna feel better tomorrow, but you can start feeling better. You
Yeah.
can start taking action and start doing these things, and then it all adds up and literally you'll feel like a completely new person.
Right.
Third, very important. We've both done this in the past. We encourage this now and always is seek professional help. So
Mhm.
consider therapy, consider coaching, depending on what you're struggling with, to help you work through your feelings. A professional can just provide those tools and those techniques to help you move forward. They help you see things kind of, they can look at from an objective viewpoint, right? When you're in it, even us as coaches, sometimes we need our own therapists and we need our own
Yes.
coaches. And because when you're in it and you're living your life, you're limited to your
Yeah.
perception. Like there are things that are just in your blind spots, and that's just how we are as humans, right? So when you can talk to somebody who can see things differently and shift your perspective and give you tools and guidance so that you're not just going through all this trial and error and spending way more time feeling bad than you could be, it really just speeds up the process and empowers you. So I will always recommend that.
Right. And I think a lot of you need to realize there's different types of therapy as well. There's
Yeah,
art
yeah.
therapy. I just had a client the other day that does art therapy with her children for
I love
divorce. I
that.
was like, that was amazing. Because she's an artist and she does it for other people, but doing like EMDR. I'm reading about tapping therapy right now. Like
Mhm.
there's
There's
just
dance therapy.
so many
Mhm.
different kinds. So it's not
Nature
just sitting
therapy.
on the couch and tell your life story. There's different kind of therapeutic needs. And don't be afraid. I tell this to everybody. Don't be afraid to switch therapists. If you have a couple
Yeah,
sessions and you're like, not feeling
not
it, this is
vibing.
not the vibe. I feel like they're just a yes man. Like switch therapists. Like
Totally. You gotta
switch.
shop around. Yeah,
Mhm.
because everyone
Mhm.
has different, like, approaches and techniques. I mean, I've had numerous therapists, and some they really just kinda sat there, and, they just wanted me to talk, and I'm like, "Listen, I got friends I can talk to, like, I need you to tell me what the fuck to do. Like, give me instructions, tell
Right.
me what." So, I had to kind of hop around until I found one that worked for me, so definitely do that.
Right.
And don't feel bad about it. I mean, you're paying those people to help you. Number 4, connect with supportive people. This is huge. If you're hanging with the wrong people that are gonna
Mhm.
continue to make you feel like shit or could feel bad about yourself or bad about your life, you gotta change your company, right? Surround yourself with friends and family who support you. Joining a support group for divorced women is great. A lot of you are in some of our groups. It's really beneficial to be able to lean on people who have been where you are, right? And who
Yeah.
can understand and relate, or that just want the best for you and trust your decision making and will be there
Yeah.
to support you whatever that looks like. I know a lot of our clients over the years have really struggled because even their closest friends or like family, their parents, I've had people whose like parents disown them because they got divorced,
Yeah.
right? So if you're constantly trying to gain that approval from other people, you're going to fuck yourself. You have to be the one to say, "I trust myself. I know that I made the right decision. This is the right path for me and for my kids, and I'm going to start surrounding myself with the right people who help lift me up, not
Right.
make me feel worse about myself and my choices."
Right. I think drama attracts drama. So if you're spewing drama, your divorce drama to your friends, a couple things are going to happen. You're going to lose really good friends, or B, you're going to end up only attracting people to talk to that love drama and will keep you in that place of
Right.
toxic negativity and pot stirring. And
Yeah.
you won't ever be able to heal because it'll be a constant, hey, well, so what's going on today? Hey, what did he say today? Hey, I saw him on Facebook. You know what happened? And it's just like you don't need that. And that's why I think the next chapter that we have for divorced moms is so good because it's training. It is you are able to vent. You are able to post and say, "Hey, I need help today. I need support today." And you have like-minded people that
Mhm.
know that they're there to encourage and to give good solid advice. That to me would have been critical for me
Yeah.
because I surrounded myself with people that were drinking, people that had horrible shit going on in their lives so that it made mine not look so bad. And then I felt like I was helping them, but nobody was helping me. And it was just, it wasn't good. I like,
Yeah.
so really look at your friends right now and like, are they helping or hurting? And if not, you might need to go the professional route and go pay to
Mhm.
be a part of a group or take advantage of a free support group and really just feel validated by being around people that understand it better, but
So
want to
worth
help you,
it.
not just want to keep you in that gutter of drama and gossip.
Right. Sometimes the people do that because it makes them feel better about themselves, right? So you have to
Yeah.
really be careful. Number 6, focus on self-care. Prioritize activities that make you feel good about yourself,
Yep.
whether that is exercising, meditating, getting outside, indulging in like a hobby or creative outlets. You have to do this kind of stuff because if you're not prioritizing yourself, not only are you just going to prolong the healing process, but you're also not setting a great example for your kids, right?
Nope.
Because you're not the best version of yourself if you're giving away 100% of yourself to work and the house and the kids and the pets and your friends and your family. It's like you shouldn't just be giving yourself what's left of you, right? You have to make sure that you are a priority every single day, even if that means 5 to 10 minutes. I had a client recently who she was saying, I really want to start journaling. And I had given her some journal prompts because she took my confidence course. And so she had some journal prompts. She's like, so this is going to help me. She's like, I just don't know when I'm supposed to do this. Like I have this going on and the kids and this and that.
Yeah.
And you have to find ways to make it happen. Even if that's okay, I'm going to get up 5 to 10 minutes earlier before the kids get up, just so that I can grab
Mhm.
my journal and sit down and focus on myself for
Yeah.
that 10 minutes or do my breath work or do my meditating or go outside for a quick walk or just like touch my feet on the ground and get nature. You have to remember that yes, you're a mom, but that doesn't mean that is all that you are. You are multifaceted. You are a woman, you are a person. You have more to you than just your kids. You have to focus on yourself and prioritize yourself just as much as you're prioritizing anybody else because if you're not doing that, no one's going to.
Yeah.
No one's coming, right? Like Mel Robinson, no one's coming. No one's coming to
Right.
save you. You have to be the one to have the discipline to go, I am worth it. I deserve it. I'm going to focus on prioritize myself.
So, like, we just got a comment come in that says self-care feels selfish when you're not used to doing it. And that
It
comes,
does.
it comes from me. I watched my mom not take care of herself. She took care of the
Exactly.
house, she took care of us, and she was always fucking doing something. Like always, she's doing yard work, she's doing running us around, she's making sure we have things, she's doing the laundry, she was constantly busy, but I don't know, except for maybe an aerobics class on Saturdays, I don't know that I saw her sit down and enjoy a book. I didn't see her go take a bath. I didn't see her, maybe she went for walks by herself, but like I don't remember getting that witnessed. I
Right.
saw her busy. I saw her be a great caregiver. I saw her be a great wife, but I didn't see her prioritize her.
Right.
And
And then you did the same and then
and then I
you
repeated the
that's what you
pattern of
turned
like,
out to be. Yeah,
I'm
you
a
stuck with
giver. I'm a giver. I'm a doer. I will make sure everybody has their things. I'll be
right.
exhausted, but that's okay. I'll be able to go to bed. But I never stopped to do anything for myself. And then my mom retired and then she started taking care of herself. And she's like, this is fucking awesome. She had her own hobbies and she was doing her own things. And I wish I would have seen more of her because now she's so confident and so content. And I think there's this. I wish I would have started this whole process earlier, but she felt like she couldn't because she had kids and blah, blah, blah.
Right.
And I just think there's so much that I learned by watching that and watching her just be so us and not herself that I
Right.
wanted to find myself early and I wanted my kid to find herself early and figure out what do you find joy from?
Yeah.
What makes you feel
Like
good
this
about yourself?
moment.
Like we were coming home last night from a college visit and I told Joe, I said, when I get home to the condo, I say home loosely. When I get to the condo, I want to do an everything shower. Like, and to me, that's an hour. I'm gonna pluck my eyebrows before, I'm gonna do a face mask, I'm gonna deep condition my hair, I'm gonna shave everything, I'm gonna get out and do all my oils, I'm gonna do my cuticles, like, and I felt so good when I was all done.
Mhm.
Like, it was just like me for an hour. Yes, I
Yeah.
hadn't seen the boys for a while, but I saw them, I came upstairs for an hour, and then I snuggled with them on the couch. Like, I had
Right.
to take that hour to myself. Otherwise, I was gonna resent everybody that I hadn't showered, that I hadn't done I just felt dirty and gross from travel. And I think too many of us put all that aside and we rush through showering and we go to bed. It's like,
Right.
no,
Right,
that
and
hour
that's
was
I love
worth it.
that because that's a perfect, kind of picture for you guys to think about, an analogy. It's like, okay, so Sam had 2 options, right? She could either say, you know what, I'm going to sacrifice the me time. Even though I want to do these things and this is what I'm being drawn to do, I'm not going to do it because I'm telling myself that my kids are more important. So then she's going to be sitting there and she's going to feel resentful, and
Mhm.
she's going to be thinking like, I should have just fucking done it. I feel disgusting. I want to just be in the shower right now, but I'm supposed to be here. So here I am, and I'm supposed to do this, and this is the right thing, and this is right. The other option is I'm going to go take care of myself, focus on myself for an hour, do the things I need to do to replenish myself, my
Yep.
mind, my body, my soul. And then when I do go spend time with my kids, they are getting a much different version of me. I am present, I
Yep.
am focused, I am relaxed, I am there. So you have
Mhm.
to look at it like that. It's not selfish. Your kids actually get a better version of you when you are filling your own tank and when you're doing
100%.
things that are for yourself. If I didn't do things for myself, I would have much less patience. I'd be very short tempered, just aggravated all the time because I would feel like I'm just going nonstop, right? We're humans. We have to nourish ourselves. And again, if you're not doing it, it's not going to happen. Like no
Well,
one
you're
can do that for you.
and you're probably grouchy. I mean, I've noticed I walk every day, and even in this condo situation, I'm jumping from condo to condo, I'm living out of a bag for 4 weeks, and it's so annoying,
It's been
but I have
crazy.
to find time to walk, and the days that I don't and spend that me time,
You
I
feel it.
am a little bit sharp that
Hmm.
those days, and
Hmm.
everybody here knows it because 'cause I've walked so many days in a row, and when I don't, they're like, "Are are you going for a walk today?" And I'm like, "I don't have time," and they're like, "Take it now. We'll watch the kids. Go," because
Right.
they've now realized that if I don't have that me time, it weighs on me. So maybe you are being a little grouchy and you don't even know that how much self-care and just spending time with yourself would get that grouchiness to go away. That bark, that mom bark that you have, it's because you're starting to get resentful that you have no time for yourself.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line. That's the truth of it. You're getting resentful that your to-do list is long and it's for everybody else but you, and you're barking at your kids and friends and family and neighbors because you don't have any time. And it's probably one of the lead things that you say when people say, "How's it going?" "Oh god, I'm so fucking busy. I have
Hmm.
so much shit to do."
I'm stressed. I have so many balls in the
Yeah,
air. There's
where I'm
millions
like,
of things
somebody
going
asked me the other day, "How you doing?" "Oh my god, I'm reading such a good book right now." That's what I led with when people asked me at this college day, "How are you?" I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I'm doing great. I'm listening to a book," which I am, by the way. I'm reading a book, Judgment Detox. 10 out of 10 recommend. And I'm fascinated by it. I'm not leading with my kids. I'm not leading with anything else other than what's going on. They asked how I was doing. And so many of you talk about everything that you're servicing versus yourself.
right.
So
And there's
just
always time. You have to make time, right?
mhm.
And I mean, listen, truth bomb, most of you find us on social media. Okay. So if you're on TikTok, if you have time to scroll social media, you've got 5 minutes or 10 minutes to do something else that's more nourishing for your mind, body, and soul. Okay. 7, practice self-compassion. You got to treat yourself with the same kindness and understanding that you would offer a friend in a similar situation. Remember, you are doing the best that you can do. Okay. So be careful not to judge yourself. We're always our own worst critics. And when you are feeling a certain way, a great way to practice changing your perspective is pretending that one of your best friends came to you with the same situation, right? What advice would you give her? Right? Would you tell her she's a piece of shit mom? Would you tell her she's fucking everything up? Would you tell her she sucks at life? No. You would
Right.
be nice and compassionate with her.
Yeah.
You would tell her things to brighten her up and to make her feel better and give her some good advice. Do that to yourself.
Yeah.
Practice being your own cheerleader. Again, it goes back to like changing that inner dialogue. Be compassionate. Stop judging yourself. You're
Yeah.
doing the best that you can do, right?
Yeah.
And that also is why it's so important to get the help that you need, because it's going to help. The more information you have, the
Mhm.
better you can do, right?
Yeah.
The more you know, the better you can do, the better
Yeah.
choices that you make.
I love that one.
Number 8 is redefining success. And I love this one. Okay. Have you been seeing underconsumption TikTok? Are you on this trend?
Yes. I just
I
got on it last
fucking
night.
love this.
Just got on it last night.
I love it. And I'm so here for it, right? We're in this world of just like consumerism, right? There's so many influencers. You need this, buy this. Here's my TJ Maxx haul. Here's my Sephora haul, right?
Yeah.
Making everyone feel less than. I need to spend money. Now, especially as a single mom, that was when I was broke AF as a single mom, right? And I really had to be careful of where my money was going, and I had to
Mhm.
budget, and I had to say no to a lot of things, right?
Yeah.
I love this underconsumption thing, is like, just use what you have, be grateful for what you have, redefine success, reframe your definition of success and failure.
Yeah.
recognize that ending a toxic or unfulfilling marriage is a courageous, positive step,
Right.
right? Success doesn't mean the fairy tale, the happily ever after. I had, the relationship and the house and the money and the car and da da da. Redefine what that looks like. Maybe success
Yeah.
is like I wake up and I have something to look forward to that day. Success
Mhm.
is I wake up and I have food in my refrigerator and my lights turn on, right? And I have gas in my car to go to work. Like some people don't. Some people don't
Yeah.
even have clean, millions of people on this planet don't even have clean water to drink, right?
So, we were at the beach the other day because again, that's where we're at, and we've gone every day, and it's getting kinda old, and I know that sounds bad, but it is we're just we're just going out there to, like, not be in this small condo, and so Joe was laying out, my daughter was laying out, and she was laying on her belly, and a big wave came out of nowhere, like, we were out of the water, we were not anywhere near the water, and a big wave came over and just trashed her hair, phone, everything,
Like
the
they all on the
towel,
video.
sand everywhere, and she started bitching about, "I have to wash my hair again. This is ridiculous." And I let her go for like 3 or 4 sentences, and I said, "Look, girlfriend," I said, "how many people get to go sit on the beach for 5 weeks? I
Right.
think you got bigger problems to worry about than having to go back, take your time, as you don't have a job, and go take a fucking shower and get the sand out of your hair. So let's
Yeah.
stop and think real quick." Yes, it was funny and horrible at the same time that a big wave came and ruined your hair and ruined your towel, but I'm like, "We got more towels.
Yeah.
You can go rinse off, and, like, all is good," like, perspective. And
Gratitude, right?
she
So
was
it's
like,
like,
"Oh my gosh, you're absolutely right." She's like, "I'm an
yeah.
asshole." I'm like,
Yeah.
"Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
but
You're
yeah,
mad
and
that
we
you're
talk
you
about
know, you have to."
gratitude all the
Right,
time and like how that
right.
can change your perspective. And it's normal, it's human to get caught up in the little things. We all do it. We all do it,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
But then when you have that gratitude practice, which means
Mhm.
every day you set time aside, you don't have to even sit and do it. You could do it on your ride to work. You could do it when you're in the shower, right? You don't even have to make separate time for it. Habit stack. When you're brushing your teeth, focus on your gratitude, make it a habit. And every day, what you're doing is you're training your brain to look at the things that you're grateful for. So
Right,
then when shit happens, like the ocean comes and ruins your clean hair or, whatever, you blow a tire,
right.
okay, immediately you're going to be like, fuck, this sucks, right? But then you've trained your brain to go, but at least I have AAA. At least I can go home and I can take a shower. I'm grateful that I'm even have the opportunity to sit on a beach and be by
Yeah,
the
or
ocean.
maybe there's a 4-car pileup 2 miles down the road that I'm gonna miss because I had a flat tire back here.
Right.
Like, you have to try. You're really good at it. I'm getting way better on this little, like, excursion of not having my life normal. Just when I start to get really mad about, "This house isn't ready, blah, 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 and I have to wait longer," I'm like, "But I do get this alone time with my daughter right before college that she doesn't know anybody here, so she has no choice but to hang out with me right now." And it's really, really nice. So, like, there was a benefit of the house not being ready so that we can all hang out longer before she goes to college. I'm trying to hold on to that every day where I'm like, "Oh, let me put on the same shirt I wore 14 times last week," because I don't have any clothes here. But yeah, it's the perspective and practicing it and just being more conscious of it.
Yeah.
Like, that habit stacking and doing gratitude. I advise my clients to do that when I'm like, "You wanna connect with your kids at the dinner table, instead of asking the stupid question of like, 'How was your day?' or 'How was school?' Ask them like, 'What's 3 things that you're grateful for today? What are 3 things you witnessed that were funny? What are 3 things that you think that brought a smile to your face today? Did you see anyone else smile today, and why do you think they were smiling?'" Like, ask very pinpointed questions to get kids and you yourself to realize you do have a lot of joys in your life. It's just this
Mhm.
negativity of co-parenting or divorce. That's your focus, and you need to stop. Like, that was my focus for 8 years. You have to stop and find the littlest, smallest, and everything shower is what I'm
Yeah.
grateful for, because I hadn't had one in probably 2 weeks. Like, that was joy to me last night. Not seeing my
Mhm.
2 little boys, it was that shower. And I'm
Yeah.
not mad about saying that, because when I got out and I could lay on the couch and I was clean, they both came and laid on me, and I got an hour of snuggles because I smelled so good and I was in such a good mood that I was loving to
Mhm.
wanna be around. So it's just
Yeah.
perspective, huge
Yeah.
perspective shift.
Yeah. Number 9, embrace your story. Own
Mm,
your narrative, your experiences, including your divorce, make you who you are today.
yeah,
Share your story with pride, without shame. It was a very brave thing, even if you weren't the one to have the divorce, to make the
right.
decision to divorce. This is a huge thing that you're undergoing, and you are evolving
Right.
as a human being. You are changing, you are growing, you are learning, you are healing, and it's going to propel you into a completely different chapter of your life, and you can harness that to be amazing. I mean, like,
Right.
we share our stories, all the time, and then, of course, there are still people, trolls on the internet that like to shame us, try to shame us for our story. But we're just like so past that at this point, because we know how many people it helps to talk about it, to
Yeah.
share our story and go, yeah, this is what happened. Like, and I know I'm not the only one, right? So
Mhm.
embrace it. I'm going to
Yeah.
go through these kind of quick because I know we're taking up a lot of time. Number 10, focus on personal growth. Use this time to explore new interests,
Preach.
develop new skills, and invest in your personal development, be it reading books, listening to books,
Absolutely.
podcast, getting into the gym or doing some kind of hobby. Like this is a great time to start focusing on yourself, to figure out who you are. It
Yeah.
helps you meet new people. It helps you build your confidence. So that's something that you should be doing on a regular basis, especially if the weather's nice, right? This is a great time. There's like kind of more stuff to be doing outside.
Yeah.
Number 11, create a vision for the future. So
Mm.
envision the life that you want to build for yourself and your kids. And then setting goals can provide a sense of direction and
Yeah.
purpose. Like when you go through a divorce, it's like a shitstorm, right? Your whole life is uprooted and everything feels like it's like falling to pieces all around you. So instead of just having all of that fear and anxiety of the unknown of the future, plan it,
Yeah.
build it, create it, get those
Agreed.
vision boards, write down your manifestations, like think about like what you can do anything. What do you want? Where do you want to
Yeah.
go from here? What kind of life do you want to build? Plan it and then set small achievable goals. Number 12, educate yourself. We touched on this one: books, podcasts, workshops, things like self-esteem, resilience, empowerment. Keep doing things like that. That's going to help you and build your self-confidence.
We have that workshop coming up, I think next week or so, the narcissistic, co-parenting with a narcissist workshop. Something like that right there. Go spend a little bit of money to find out how to help yourself. Like, quit trying to
Okay.
figure it out on your own. Somebody asked me that a long time ago. How'd you figure this out? I'm like, I eventually had to ask for help.
Yeah.
I didn't figure it out on my own. I had to ask for help. And so, but there was a lot of shame with asking for help. So I had to ask a stranger, because if I asked somebody I knew, I felt like that was dirty and wrong. Like I felt like, oh, now they're going to know my secrets. I asked a
Right.
stranger. We're strangers to you. Ask us for help. In that workshop, which we can link everywhere, you guys, it's critical to just jump in and go. We have so many light bulb moments inside of that workshop for people who are like, I can do that. I'm allowed to do that. I just got duetted. I don't know if you saw last night. I got duetted by the Florida lawyer, Florida divorce lawyer. She's a blonde. She's really good on TikTok. And she says, what Sam just said in this video is correct. I'm your lawyer. And sometimes you need advice from a professional like her that can't say the things that I can't say the things she says. I have
Right.
to give you legal advice. She can
Right.
give you practical day-to-day advice, and calling me, the lawyer, is more expensive than working with her. And
Right.
so I was like, thanks for the shout out, but it's so practical. We teach you the day-to-day, not the legal stuff, but the
Right.
day-to-day stuff. And a workshop
Actionable
like
steps.
that
Yeah.
is
It's August
critical.
27th. Thursday, Tuesday, August 27th is the co-parenting with the narcissist. It's a live workshop. When you enroll, you also get the replay if you can't come live. And you get a chance to hop on to stay on with us for a whole hour on Zoom and ask us any questions you have after the workshop. So look into that. That's on samalia.com.
Got it.
13, celebrate your strengths. Make a list of your strengths and achievements, both big and small. Remind
Mhm.
yourself regularly of what you have accomplished. Focusing on your strengths is going to help you build your self esteem. 14, be honest with your kids. Communicate with your kids about the divorce in an age appropriate way, obviously.
Yep.
Show them that it's okay to talk about difficult emotions and that you are all in this together. You don't have to keep it all together, right? A lot of us put so much pressure on ourselves and we're so stressed because we're trying to make sure that our kids think that everything's fine and we're okay. When sometimes we're just not. And
No.
sometimes you have a hard day and you want to
Mhm.
cry because things are hard. Show them that you're a human being and that you're not a robot. Show them that, things happen to you too that are difficult. And then show them how you handle it. What healthy coping mechanisms do you use
Right.
to process your emotions or to work through anger, right? Or if you're upset, what are you doing? Because that's what your kids are going to learn from, right? If
I
you're
would.
stressed and anxious and work, and you're just having more cocktails than you should be because that's the only way you can check out and cope with it. Well,
Mhm.
those are the coping skills that our children are learning from us.
With this one, guys, I know a lot of you think that you're approachable. Gosh, my kids can come to me with anything. I hope my kids know they can come to me with anything. Like, I just hope they tell me. I hope they ask me. I hope they, keep me informed. Ask them. Ask them this question. Am I approachable for you? Do you feel like you can come to me with hard stuff or easy stuff and anything in between? Do you feel like you can come to me about failing at school? Do you feel like you can come to me about a horrible boyfriend and girlfriend relationship? Do you feel like you can come to me about the other house? Do you feel like you can come to me about financial needs? Do you feel like you can come to me about my parenting style? Ask your kids, am I approachable to you? Because my son has told me multiple times when he was a child, I wasn't. And we're still working through that. And I think now I'm way more approachable. Now he's an open book to me. And now I'm like, whoa, TMI. Um, but it's something I thought the whole time. I'm like, my kids will come to me. They'll tell me.
Right.
Nope. You were unapproachable, mom. You were dealing with so much shit. We thought if we added to that pile, you would have crumbled. What? So ask yourself, you may be thinking you're projecting open book. I'm all, yeah, I'm all. You have to make sure you're approachable for your kids to come ask you something or tell you something that they need help with or they need to dump on you. And some of
Mhm.
you are so distracted with your own shit, you're not approachable. For whatever reason, you're coming off as not approachable. So just beware of that because I thought I was nailing it.
Mhm.
Wasn't,
Right.
wasn't. I should have
Right.
asked the question.
Last one is forgiving yourself
Mm,
and others. Practice forgiveness. Let go of the guilt or the
right.
resentment that you're holding on to, whether it's towards yourself or your ex, because they're never going to change, right? And so you holding on to that anger and resentment is really only impacting you. It's
Yeah.
affecting you. It's making
Yeah.
your life worse. It's making you feel worse.
Yeah.
So try to release that stuff. Forgive yourself, whether that's for staying longer than you should have, whether that's getting the divorce at all, whether it's marrying that person at all, right? Or having kids with this person. There's a lot of things sometimes we have to forgive ourselves for. But
Yeah.
what's happened has happened. Unless you got a time machine hidden in your closet, you can't do shit about it. You need to stop ruminating about the past, accept where you are, and figure out what kind of things you need to be doing to move forward where you can feel better about what is.
Yeah. Yeah. I think this one is I got there probably within the last 8 years, and now that it's all over with and co-parenting is done, I've really like, wow, I survived all that, got through that, and it was why it was supposed to happen. Like, my life was supposed to have him in it. My life was supposed to have these 2 strong, amazing, fucking resilient children.
Yeah.
Because now it's helped formulate me, it's their siblings, like, everything happened the way it was supposed to, so why can't I just forgive it? Like,
Right.
forgive yourself for marrying somebody after 60 days. I've told that story so much now that it's like now I'm hoping that it'll be a light bulb moment to someone else. Like, maybe I shouldn't rush into this. Maybe I should hit pause for a second. Maybe I should ask these questions. Yeah, you got to forgive yourself and just realize it was supposed to happen. And what do you do with that information is a whole nother subject.
Yeah.
But holding on to the resentment in yourself or the shame or the guilt isn't helping anybody in your story, including yourself and your children. So
Yes.
you got to release it. That's right. Absolutely. All right, you guys, this will be out and available. Share it with your friends, share it with somebody. I know we saw in the comment section as we were going, hey, I have a girlfriend that needs this. Share away. This will be posted on our podcast, on our YouTube, everywhere that you guys watch us. Let us know. Leave us a comment when you watch this. Give us some feedback of other subjects you'd like for us to carry because we are back. I think this fall, you're going to see a lot of new things, new changes, new stuff with Lee and I. So be on the lookout. Make sure you're subscribing. Make sure you are here for the duration to get the support and care that you guys need. Have a good week, you guys. Take care of yourselves.